What if your life isn't out of control? You just haven't taken control of your mornings yet. Hannah's life was a mess, constantly late, overwhelmed, stuck in a cycle of procrastination and missed opportunities. No matter how many times she promised herself to change, nothing ever did. Until one unexpected encounter on a quiet night introduced her to a simple idea. 5:00 a.m. At first it felt impossible. Too early, too hard, too unrealistic. But what started as one small decision slowly turned into discipline, structure, and a completely new life. This is not just a story about waking up early. It's about taking control when it's hardest, building discipline when you feel weakest, and becoming the person you always said you'd be. If you've ever felt stuck, unorganized, or like life is slipping away, this story is for you. Watch until the end and ask yourself, what would happen if you gave yourself just 1 hour before the world wakes up? Hannah was always late. Late to work, late with bills, late with promises. Her life didn't fall apart all at once. It cracked slowly like glass under pressure. One morning she ran down the street half-dressed, holding her shoes in one hand and her phone in the other. "Wait, wait," she shouted as the bus doors closed in front of her. The driver didn't even look. Hannah stood there, breathing heavily, watching it leave. Again. By the time she reached work, her boss didn't even say hello. "Third time this week," he said without looking up. She started. "I don't need excuses, I need reliability." That word hit harder than anything else. Reliable she was, not to her job, not to her family, not even to herself. That evening things got worse. Her electricity was cut off. She sat in the dark, her phone light flickering across unpaid bills, unopened emails, and a calendar filled with reminders she had ignored. Final notice. Urgent. Last chance. Her chest tightened. How did it get this bad? But deep down she knew. It wasn't one big mistake. It was 1,000 small ones. A few days later she took a temporary job in another city, night shift, packing boxes in a warehouse. No passion, no future, just survival. Her hands hurt, her back burned, and time moved painfully slow. At 3:47 a.m. during her break, she collapsed onto a bench near the train platform outside. That's where she saw him, a man in a suit, clean, sharp, awake at 3:47 a.m. He wasn't tired, he wasn't scrolling, he was reading. Hannah stared. "Do you ever sleep?" she muttered. He looked up, slightly amused. "Of course," she pointed at the sky. "It's still night." "It's already morning," he replied calmly. She scoffed. "For who?" "For people who want control," he said. That annoyed her. "Control," she snapped. "I work night shifts. I'm exhausted. My life is falling apart and you're talking about control." He didn't react. Instead, he closed his book. "I used to sleep through my life too," he said. "Until I realized something." Hannah crossed her arms. "What?" "The earlier you take control of your day, the less your day controls you." She rolled her eyes. "Let me guess. Wake up at 5 a.m., drink water, change your life." He smiled slightly. "Yes," she laughed, actually laughed. "You don't get it," she said. "I can't even manage my life awake. And you want me to wake up earlier." "That's exactly why you should," he replied. She paused. That irritated her more than it should. That night after her shift, she didn't go to sleep immediately. Instead, she sat on her bed, tired, frustrated, thinking. "What if?" she whispered. The next day, 5 a.m., her alarm rang. Her body screamed no. Her mind whispered not today. She turned it off. Silence. Then she sat up. "Just try," she muttered. She walked outside. The city was empty. No noise, no chaos, just cold air and silence. It felt unfamiliar. Day 3 she almost quit. Day 5 she overslept. Day 7 she didn't want to continue, but something strange started happening in between the struggle. She began noticing time, real time, not the rushed, chaotic kind, but usable time. One morning she opened her laptop. There was a course she had once downloaded and never touched, difficult, complex, intimidating. She clicked it. "See how long I last," she said. At first she didn't understand anything. Error messages, confusion, frustration. She slammed the laptop shut more than once. "This is pointless," she groaned. But the next morning at 5 a.m. she opened it again. Weeks passed. Her routine became movement. Wake up, cold water on her face, walk outside, sit down, learn, every single day. even after exhausting night shifts, even when her body begged her to stop. Her life outside didn't magically fix. She still worked long hours, still struggled with money. But internally something shifted. She started showing up on time, then early. Her boss at the warehouse noticed. "You're different lately," he said. She shrugged. "Just trying something new." 3 months later, she completed the program, not perfectly, but completely. She stared at the screen. "I actually did it." For once, she finished something. 6 months later, Hannah walked into a glass building, not as a visitor, but as an employee. Her first day at a high-paying job she once thought was impossible. Clean desk, bright office, quiet confidence. Her manager smiled. "We're glad to have you, Hannah." She nodded, but her mind went somewhere else, back to the dark room, the missed bus, the warehouse nights, back to 5 a.m. That evening she passed a bus stop. A young woman was running toward a closing bus. "Wait, wait!" The doors shut. The bus drove away. Hannah stopped walking. For a moment it felt like looking into her past. She walked over slowly. "Hey," she said gently. The girl looked frustrated. "Yeah," Hannah smiled slightly. "I know something that might help." The girl sighed. "What?" Hannah looked at her, remembering everything it took to change. "Tomorrow morning," she said, "set your alarm for 5 a.m. What do we learn from this story? Life doesn't collapse in one moment, and it doesn't rebuild in one either. It changes through action, through repetition, through discipline when it's hardest. 5 a.m. isn't magic, but it gives you something most people never use: a head start on becoming the person you said you'd be.